and let us all do we can to build a better future. All right. On yesterday's show, we talked about how Russia is considering maybe calling for an extradition of that, that Waffen SS guy, the Nazi collaborator, Yaroslav Hunka. Remember at the end of that video, I found out some information that our fantastic audience members shared with me. That shout out to Kashami Kate, who sent me a link. Oh, there's a lot more to it. So Canada, look, you guys are taking a lot of L's for this. Now, look, the United States, before anyone says like, oh, well, America's made mistakes. Oh, yeah, no. We've made a lot of mistakes, but Canada, I expected better out of you. Oh, God. Because this is just too funny. Because, again, I just really have to wonder, did people know who he was and not say anything and assume that people wouldn't notice? Or just did nobody decide to do a background check? Just there's so many questions. I got so many questions. So let's talk about this University of Alberta, Canada. University of Alberta, in the great province of Alberta. Did you know Alberta also where the skeletal remains of Albertosaurus was found? Yeah, a little bit of science. Yes, who says you can't learn anything here at Hard Lens Media, eh? But let's pull up this article from RT just to trigger the libs. Canadian University regrets a fund named after Ukrainian Nazi. So he has an endowment fund. So the University of Alberta has closed an endowment amid controversy over a Waffen SS fighter who was honored in Ottawa's parliament. Like, how'd that happen? They regret it. They're like, oh, we just made an oopsie. We didn't know. We didn't background check into this guy. We just heard he was fighting the Russians. Really? He was fighting the Russians where? What war? World War II. He was fighting the what? Who was he? Was he a deserter? No. He was fighting against the Russians. Who was backing him up? Well, gee, we didn't look into it. Why are you asking? Because the Russians were our allies during World War II. Who was helping him? Think about it. Just think about it. The fallout over the Canadian Parliament's veneration of a Ukrainian Waffen SS veteran spread to the University of Alberta on Wednesday. The institution has apologized. Oh, we're so sorry. And shut down an endowment fund named after the elderly Nazi collaborator Yaroslav Hunka, just hours after Russian diplomats exposed his connections to the school. The university admitted on Wednesday night that it held an endowment fund named after Hunka, the 98-year-old Ukrainian native who was given standing ovations because everybody in that parliament applauded. I just found it funny that in the video I played yesterday, now all the parliament members was like, I can't believe this happened in our parliament. Man, most of you, if not all of you, were. Woo! Now, maybe some of you didn't know, but seriously, don't you guys get a brochure of what's going to be on the agenda? Maybe have your staff kind of look into it. Now, I'm not going to tell you people how to do your jobs, right? Because we got our own problems in our own Congress, okay? But seriously, how'd that fly under all y'all's radars? So again, upon the exposure of Hunka's Nazis past, the incident became an international embarrassment for Ottawa, leading to the resignation of House Speaker Anthony Rota, a public apology from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who just still blames Russia, and an admission from Germany, and its ambassador had applauded a former member of the Waffen SS. Oh, Germany, don't you ever learn? Hunka's family donated $30,000 in 2019 to establish an endowment fund named after him and his wife at the University of Alberta, Canada's Institute of Ukrainian Studies. The Russian ambassador to Canada, Oleg Stefov, told RA Novosti that the embassy discovered Hunka's link to the university and publicized the fact. A few hours later, the institution announced a cancellation. Oh boy. Oh, oof. You know what that means. Sorry, Alberta, Canada. Sorry, Alberta, Canada, University of Alberta, Canada. But you know, the fact that everyone's talking about it, everyone knows about it, you warrant it, and you warrant it badly. So badly that it's just going to forever haunt you. Again, I don't do this out of malice. I don't do this out of hate. I do this out of love. But this is an oof. 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 That's difficult to watch. Again, Russia in Canada. Any comments? University of Alberta. Oh, that's just such a pure gold tweet. I mean, it's so delicious and nutritious. Look at that. $30,097. Ooh, a little cheap. You should add in another $3 in there. $30,100 then. That really says a lot about that endowment fund. Established in 2019 to support research related to the Ukrainian Catholic Church. With preference given to investigations of the lives and work of the Metropolitan. I can't pronounce that. I'm not going to try. So again, here's what the university wrote. After careful consideration of the complexities, experiences, and circumstances of those impacted by the situation, we have made the decision to close the endowment and return the funds to the donor. Oof. Just so sad to watch. But see, here's the thing. There's a lot of further fallout that's happening in Canada. First, I want to pull up a couple of tweets from Max Blumenthal. Shout out to Comrade Misty, who also shared this as well. Why can't Christina Freeland give a straight answer to a question about how many Nazi veterans currently reside in Canada? So here's something that people don't want to talk about too, because this is something that America also has that no one talks about. A lot of these Nazis coming here to America after the Second World War. Because look, I hate to ruin everyone's, little fantasy, but you know, at night when you see the moon, how do you want to know how we got there? Just check out Operation Paperclip. Listen. If you still have hope, do yourself a favor. Pour yourself a glass of strong whiskey and open it up because you need to see it.
So that Canadians can know how many veterans who fought with the Nazis are here in our country. Will the government do so? And what is your response to that?
Oh, wow. The quiet answer. And listen to this word salad. You thought AOC gave a word salad? Listen to this.
I think, let me just start by reiterating, and I don't want it to be said too many times, how hurtful for so many people in Canada and around the world what happened was and has been and continues to be.
I don't like that long pause. The real answer should be, Jesus Christ, I had no idea that there were all these horrible individuals here. My goodness gracious. We need to get the glorious bastards out of retirement and do a good old-fashioned Quentin Tarantino sequel or something. I don't know.
MPs, in our capacity as MPs, it's important for appropriate next steps in the House to be taken. And I think that is our immediate focus. And as a government, we're going to be very thoughtful about any further steps that need to be taken.
Christ in heaven, even Kamala can give a more straightforward answer than that. And that is really pathetic. Canada, are you trying to come after the United States for world heavyweight champion of being stupid? because you know that golden belt is ours. Okay, that was what the hell was that? Hold on, folks, just a little bit more. The neo-Nazi Azov Battalion published photos in 2017 and 2018 of top Canadian military officers training its leadership. Perhaps that relation explains General Wayne Aaron's silence on the Nazi Gate. So apparently, Canada's top general won't apologize for applauding the Ukrainian Waffen SS. There he is. Hey, look. Let's go in more detail about this. Nazi Gate. Canada's top general won't apologize for applauding on Ukrainian Waffen SS from the gray zone. Shout out to Max Blumenthal and his entire crew there. They've been doing award-winning journalism. They've been on point and keep speaking truth to power. So there you go. So, hey, I like the way this starts off. Canadian politicians have been in frantic damage control mode since feting a former member of the Waffen SS during a parliamentary reception for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on September 22nd. The Speaker of Canada's House of Commons, Anthony Rota, resigned following the incident, while Prime Minister Justin Trudeau lamented it was as extremely upsetting. He also kept on blaming Russia. And opposing leader Pierre Poilievre branded the affair as the biggest single diplomatic embarrassment in Canada's history. Jesus Christ, Canada. Canada, I held you to a higher standard. Truly, I did. But amid the gratuitous public rights and contrition, one influential official has been conspicuously absent. Canada's highest-ranking general, according to the Ottawa Citizen, Chief of Defense Staff General Wayne Aaron, has declined to apologize for his standing ovation for Yaroslav Hunka, the now notorious 98-year-old former member of the 14th Waffen Grenadier Division of the SS, whose members gained international infamy for hunting down anti-Nazi partisans, massacring thousands of civilians, and burning hundreds of Polish villages alive. The notion that the Nazi proclivities of figures like Hunka could have escaped Aaron's notice now appears increasingly remote. In 2017, Ukraine's Azov Battalion published photos on their website publicizing their meeting with high-level Canadian military officials who had arrived in Ukraine to help train the notoriously neo-Nazi infested unit, which was officially incorporated into the Ukrainian National Guard. Say it with me, folks. What could possibly go wrong? And here's some of the tweets. Now, I'm going to post a link to the article for all of you to share as well. But look, I just have to just address this. I find it really surprising that so many people in positions of power didn't look into this man's background. Nobody decided to question or ask the simple question of, hey, does this guy have a bit of a history? Did anyone decide to look into it? So I just want to pull this up here again because I just want to just read the statement from the University of Alabama. Not Alabama, Alberta. I screwed that up. Sorry, Alabama. Didn't mean to put you in on this one. But here, again, this is the University of Alberta. Again, following the introduction of Yaroslav Hunka on September 22nd in the Canadian House of Commons, the university began the review. They just began a review, so 2019. So you had all that time, and you didn't begin to review the endowment fund that existed in Mr. Hunka's name. In 2019, Mr. Hunka's family provided the donation to the Canadian Institute of Ukrainian Studies at the University. Endowments can be named for the donor or someone else they chose after careful consideration. I've read this before. The complexities, experiences, and circumstances of those impacted by the situation. We have made a decision to close the endowment and return the funds to the donor. The university recognizes and regrets the unintended harm caused. 2019. It's now 2023. No one fact checks anymore. No wonder the world is starting to become an epic failure. No wonder everything's falling apart. No one does their job anymore. This is beyond stupid. But hold on, folks. Why is it that I feel that we just dusted off the surface? I want to be wrong about this, but I think that this is going to be the little pebble that causes a massive avalanche to fall. Not only in Canada, but I see it coming here into the USA as well. Folks, just brace yourselves. You heard it here first in Hard Lens Media that this is only the beginning. And we are about to lift up so many stones and witness the true, ugly, raw, disgusting history of just, well, how many of these Nazi bastards might be here. We've known about it, but now it's going to get all out there and how it's all intertwined. We live in a sick system, folks. Keep your heads on a swivel. Do that for me.